Hi, everyone. My name is Dustin Miles, and super excited to have Barbie and Liz today. We are you've known them for a little bit, and so just excited to have them today. And I'll kind of hand it over to you guys to introduce yourselves, and then we'll kind of hop into it.
Cool. Okay, well, I'm Liz, and we are BE Property Investors is our company name, and we have been in real estate since about 2015. Started in single family, like most of the investors that we've met, and moved into multifamily in 2017. Um, and we were passive for a few years, and as of the last year and a half, maybe a year, we've been active and passive. So excited for what's to come.
Awesome. And where are you guys located at?
We are in Austin, Texas currently.
Okay,
Yep.
cool. And so, where are you guys looking to invest, and what does that look like for you guys?
Well, we do most of our investing in Texas, I would say between San Antonio and Dallas. Last year, we did a deal in Pittsboro, North Carolina. This
Hmm.
is just west of Raleigh, and another apartment complex in Warner Robins, Georgia, which just is a little bit south of
Hmm.
Macon.
Oh,
But
wow.
otherwise,
Okay.
mostly Texas.
Okay, got it. Okay, well, sounds good. And what has your role been on the GP side, and maybe what do you like to do?
You want me to take this? I'll take this one. Well, we were passive for a while and watching from the inside of deals and trying to figure out what we wanted to do. But the first step, with what we learned in multifamily, is in one of the most important roles is raising capital, and so that's where we started. Um, Joining forces with other like-minded individuals and who've been in the business longer than we have, and so since we didn't have much experience other than being passive, we thought that raising capital, tapping into our database, would be a great place to start. And that's it's actually turned out to be one of our favorite activities because the education piece has been really meaningful for us to help people grow their wealth. What it means to them and their families and their legacy has been just, we're able to affect their lives in such a positive way that it's really to watch that click happen where they're like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. How do we get on board? So
Awesome. No, that's great. Yeah, and it'll be a lot of fun. You guys are get into this, and you're in for a few years, and then you kind of have investors that are along the way with you, and you're like, wow, remember when what life looked like? The first deal, and now we're at deal number 5 or 10 or so. So
right.
that'd be really fun to kind of watch
Hmm.
that journey unfold. Um, is there is there anything that you guys as you kind of you guys were LPs, you go to a few conferences, and you're like, hey, I start seeing a lot of the same people pretty quickly, and so curious if there's anything that you guys can think of that kind of sets yourself apart, from other folks. Why should they invest with you versus the other folks?
Mhm. I would say it's mainly the communication piece. I think that's what we pride ourselves in. We want to keep the investors engaged and
Mm-hmm.
up to date with what's going on with the current investments. Whether things are going perfectly or not so perfectly. We were involved in deals where, as LPs, we had little to no communication from the sponsors, and so. Um, we definitely said that was going to be our main focus, communicate.
Gotcha. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's it doesn't cost money to communicate. So, well, cool. What are So you're mainly in Texas, but then you're in a deal in Georgia and then North Carolina. What is your what does that box look like? What are you guys zoning in on? What does that deal look like for you guys? Oops.
Yeah, so as a LP and or a GP, right? Like, what is our
Yes.
okay?
Yep. Yep. Yep.
I think that any healthy market, we look at is industry coming into the area? Is there population growth? If it's a healthy, vibrant, happening market, we like to be there. We also like landlord friendly markets, but ultimately, the deal has to make sense. The numbers have to make sense,
Hmm.
and let's see what else. What else, Barbie? What do we look for in a deal other than like the market
I
itself?
mean, we really like to know the story of the property. You know, what were the seller's issues? How can we bring the solution? Uh,
Hmm.
That's right. Sometimes, especially with the market that's happening now, where the debt has become a burden for some people to maintain. We like to know the background of the story and what the seller like. It could be a very unique situation where
Hmm.
all it would take is just some fresh debt in there, or um, a new strategy on, I don't know, fixing up something that they just don't have the money to do so, and we could raise that
Hmm.
money and be ready to go. Just so learning that the issues at hand and then really bringing the solution.
Awesome. Yeah. And so it sounds like you guys, probably talk to LPs, often, all that. I've gotten this question, and maybe you guys have too. I've gotten this question not a ton, but a handful of times. And this LP had asked me, he was like, what should I be asking you about the deal? And so I'm gonna kind of pose the same question, to you guys. What should LPs kind of be asking you about whenever they're looking at one of your deals?
mhm. I think I think they need to know, like, if things are going amazing, how do you perform, and if things are not going amazing, tell me about a time when there was an issue and how you solved it, because there's going to be something ultimately, whether it's major or minor.
Yeah.
How do you anticipate and react?
And I would add that just your experience in the market. Have you been full cycle? Not only that, have you been in the market when things are low,
Hmm.
like a low market? Have you been when things are hot in a hot market? Have you seen both environments? Because you need to have a different, um, you need to be ready in different ways for each scenario. So, just experience dealing with difficult solutions and how do you communicate. I guess that's what I would be wanting to know as an LP to ask the sponsor team.
Yes.
Yeah. No, that's good. Yeah, it's funny, whenever, anyways, yeah, it's funny just, you've never seen a bad resume, and then when people are proposing a potential deal, you're like, man, this sounds good, and then,
They
I mean,
always sound good. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, and then it's, oh yeah, it's rainbows and unicorns, So,
Yeah.
but yeah, there's always, I think every single deal I've ever done, there's always bumps in the road to closing. There's always bumps in the road during the deal. Some less than others, but yeah, there's always bumps. We have the properties. There's few hundred people, and you know stuff's gonna happen. So, anyways, but are there certain aspects of multifamily that you guys, I guess, well, what do you like most about multifamily? And then if there's anything that maybe not so much. I know on the there's a lot I like, but on the not so much, and it's just because we're just getting at K1 season, and so I'm not. I really like what K1s do for my taxes, but putting it together and all that, not the most fun
Getting
thing in
them
the
out in
world.
a timely manner, it's difficult.
Yeah, it's hard. It's
I think there's
hard
an
negotiate.
opportunity here for us to create a business around getting K1s out efficiently and effectively and like going in
Yeah.
and take it. Wouldn't that be great, to hand that off to
Yeah,
someone? I don't know.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
But
Absolutely.
so one thing you said, you asked, what is what do we love and what do we not love about
Yeah.
what do you love about multifamily? I'll do the
I think what we ultimately love is, basically it's a circle of prosperity. We
Mm.
help the tenants, we can help the investors, we're creating jobs along the way. It feels really
Mhm.
full circle when you can do all of those things.
yeah, and I guess something that is tough. It's I mean it's tough to raise capital in a down market. People like to hold on to what they have.
Mhm.
So communicating and that I guess that's difficult. But the one thing that really sticks out to me that's tough to see sometimes is when you go into a property where families are living and it's the landlord has basically given up on the property and hasn't done
Oh,
simple
right.
things to like make it safe, make it
Yeah.
pretty is one thing, but safe that
Just
is
having some lighting or
exactly
whatever. Yeah.
heat, air,
Yeah. Mhm.
clean up the mold. I've
Mold,
seen some
water,
things that are, with kids living there, and it's just that is kind of hard to stomach um,
Yeah.
sometimes. So that's
Yeah,
one.
yeah, absolutely. It's been a long time, but yeah, only one, yeah, place where I had to go spray for, is it? I don't remember if it's, I don't know. Yeah, anyways, we had to spray ourselves down before we went into the
Yeah.
units.
Ooh.
So, anyways, I forgot if it's bed bugs or what it
Oh
was, but
wow. Yeah.
so anyways, been a while, so don't miss that.
Right.
So, um, are you guys, what was the journey looked like for you guys? I know you said you started as an LP, but are you guys part of a mentoring program? Is that how you started? Are you guys in some coaching or mentoring programs now? What does that kind of journey look like for you guys?
I mean, when we started in 2015 in single family, we joined our first mentoring program, and we did a
Mm.
couple on the single family side. And we found such value there that when we jumped to the multifamily space, we were like, we got to keep going.
Yeah.
The learning part is ever learning. And so it's been really valuable to stay in that circle. So we continue, I would say, two more mentoring groups later. There's just always something to learn, and just to be
Mhm.
around all the like-minded folks has been really helpful.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think, one thing that, you can, I think in single family, there's, you can kind of, you can lone wolf it a little bit, and you can kind of, maybe get away with some stuff, and it's you're talking smaller dollars and all that. But yeah, multifamily, it can humble you pretty quick. These are really big deals, and the mortgage on a lot of these is, can eat your lunch pretty quick. So you've really got to, yeah, be on your game for sure. So but to the point of, always, whether in a program or not, always trying to, just better yourself and take in more information, and just try to get better, not only for business, but like what you guys were saying, for the residents. Like, a lot of people, I don't think enough about, a lot of the apartments that we own. Like, that's, they brought home their first baby there. They've had birthday parties there, like, retirement, I mean, it's, people's lives. So it's a huge responsibility for sure. So um well, switching gears, are there any? Do you guys have any favorite books or podcasts, or I'm a more of an audiobook guy, but anything that you guys really like? And then I'm really curious if there's anything that you listened to or read more than once, because I tend to not really read or listen to a book more than once unless I really like it. So if there's any of those, would love to hear it.
I'll start. Well, for me, this whole journey in real estate has been a really life changing journey. And it started with the education on money itself. And so, one of my favorite books is Creature from Jekyll Isle by Griffin. can't remember his first name, but he really goes into what is money, what is currency, and how is it different than today, what's going on with our money system today. And so learning that, and then learning what real estate can do to, we're in this system, and there's no way out of it because we all need currency to live and to buy resources. And so learning about what real estate can do to be in the system, but kind of, I won't, not hijack, but, you know, learn how to be in the system and create your own system within it, and get around money and make money work for you. So that book, Creature from Jekyll Isle, was such an eye opener,
Mm.
and I recommend that to anyone who hasn't read it. I brought it one time to a group, and one guy walked by and he looked at the book title and he goes, "That's a dangerous book." And I said, "It is." And it's, but
Hmm.
he was coming from, knowing who said it, he was coming from, that it kind of fires people up and gets them to move, to
Oh
kind
wow.
of think against the government and the Fed. But for me, it
Hmm.
was more about, I'm going to play the game. It's a
Yeah.
game,
Yeah.
and if you play it right, you can actually, you know, play within it and then level up. And so
Hmm.
anyways, that's one of my favorites. Barbie, do you have a
Okay.
favorite book?
I do. I've always been a Kiyosaki fan,
Mm.
and when you read his books, he's a repeater, and so I think the more he repeats himself, but his book that was called Fake, which we met him probably 3 or 4 years ago, I think, when he
Mm.
had put it out, but it basically just says, you want to be learning from the people that are doing it, not just the people that are teaching about it.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
feel like all of our mentors have been that someone that
Mm.
is actively doing what they're teaching. Um, Super important, and that really resonated.
And then for podcasts, I would say the Real Estate Guys radio show.
Mm.
They've been they were one of our first mentors, actually. They just jumped on and started
Oh,
listening to
cool.
them. They really break it down, like build your own brand. Who are you? What sets you apart from
Mm.
the other people raising money? Like, you have a brand. It's your face and your attitude, and them. And then Old Capital podcast. So
Mhm.
educational. um, Almost every guest on there, just being in the, Dustin, the groups that we are in together, a lot of familiar faces in there. And then they put together a really great program. Every single episode, even though I've heard those people's stories, something else comes out that like really resonates. And yeah, so those two, I would say, very valuable.
Awesome. Well, cool. Uh, we're kind of toward. Actually, we're almost out of Q1. Almost into Q2,
Jeez.
and so what does 2024 look like for you guys, or if you want to, I guess you could just look behind you and kind of read that off. But or if you guys, or if you want to take it to what the next few years or 5 years looks like for you guys, however you guys want to take it.
What do you think, Barbie?
Well, I think we just continue to grow and kind of reach out and see how many people we can help and work with. We're just spending 2023 just doing a ton of underwriting and just trying to
Mm.
find the properties that make sense. And our goal is 2 to 3, hopefully, this year.
Okay.
We've kind of locked in one, and so we're just moving along.
Yeah, and I would just add that 2023, like she said, we were doing a bunch of underwriting, and we were getting building that database, which is so important. And
Mhm.
2024 is like, it feels like the momentum is building to get all those conversations that have been, we've been curating this database, and we've had some activity from within the database. But now it's like, now that everybody's seeing what we're doing and how many deals,
Mhm.
they're ready. They're like, tell me when the next one. So it's just like, it kind of feeds itself. And it's been really great. I can't wait to see, but definitely more deals 2024. Um, so is our goal 3 to 4, you said? I say 5, but that'll
just, just go one up. Yeah.
just level
Just
up. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah, for sure. Uh, any advice? I'm sure you guys talk to plenty of people. They're like, "Hey, I want to be, want to be like you guys. I want to be a GP. What does that look like?" Any advice for the folks, looking to be on the GP side?
Yes, I think, something that helped us so much was just education, just
Hmm.
be thirsty for it and learn from a lot of different sources. I don't think there's one silver bullet, but I think education really gave us the knowledge and the confidence to move forward.
Definitely. And I'll just add, oh, sorry, just,
Oh, nope. Go ahead.
I'll just add that, because I have some people with less experience coming to me and saying, "What can I do? What can I do?" And I think that if I could talk to myself 2 years ago, because I was real fearful, I had analysis paralysis. I was
Mm,
like, "It'll happen. I'll just." I'm just nervous. Didn't know what I didn't know, and then it was, I didn't know, I knew what I didn't know. So now it's like, um, I, I guess my ultimate advice would be get with people who are doing what you want to do and offer to help them for free. Offer to be of value for free because if you can just watch them and see what they're doing, take notes, get tasked with something that you can bring, that you know how to do, um, that would be huge to show that you're in it for the long haul, and you're willing to do some sweat equity to learn from them on the inside. I wanted to do it all. I wanted to call the broker. I wanted to raise capital. I wanted to, because I didn't have the experience, and so I guess I was just limited by my fear, but then my thinking that I could do it all. That if I just learned how to do it, then I would just go apply it. But there's not enough time in
mm,
the day. It's just too much. Pick one
yep.
thing. Pick a team that you jive with. Go to them and say, "What can I do? This is the skills I do have. What can I do? I'll work for free. Let me just be watch. Let me just be a part. Of what. How can we work together?" Yeah. So that's what I wish I would have done.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's I mean, there one thing I really really enjoy about the multifamily just kind of space in general is you get a lot of just real high quality people. At least that's been my experience. And when I remember when it was very refreshing because I started out similar to you guys. I started out in single family, and not that there aren't really good high level people in single family, but I definitely felt like there was a step up in just professionalism. I don't know if that's the maybe that was it, but I don't know. Yeah, it was pretty refreshing and just felt like people had their I mean there's still some people that maybe don't have their stuff together, but because that's everywhere, but it
Mm-hmm.
just definitely felt like a step up
Mm-hmm.
when I moved. So
Yeah.
well, cool. And then yeah, I guess how do people get a hold of you guys? If you want to give a website or email or whatever is best for y'all. So just really appreciate your time, and it's great to see you guys again. So
For sure. Well, yeah, you can go to our website. It's B as in boy, E as in Elizabeth, propertyinvestors.com. Barbie is the B, I am the E, and so BE propertyinvestors.com. On there, if you log in, any of the buttons that say book a call will you'll get on our calendar and set something up and we can chat. So
cool. Awesome. Well, really appreciate you guys hopping on, especially on a Friday afternoon. And yeah, hope you guys have a great weekend. And yeah, great seeing you again. And have a great day. Thank you.
thanks,
See
Thank
Dustin.
ya.
you
It
so
was a
much,
pleasure.
Dustin.
Bye.
Take care.